I saved for 3 years to take my dream trip to Italy. 3 years of overtime shifts and skipped dinners out and saying no to myself over and over. Then 2 days before I was supposed to leave, my 32-year-old son called me selfish. He said I was wasting money on travel when I could be helping my grandchildren. He said real mothers sacrifice for their families. Want to know what he forgot to mention? I've been paying his car insurance for the last 6 years, and his cell phone bill. And I just gave him $5,000 last month for unexpected expenses. So yeah, I went to Italy. And when I got back, everything had changed. Before the story begins, subscribe and tell me where you're watching from. My name is Carol Anderson. I'm 62 years old, and for most of my life, I've been the person who says yes. Yes, I'll help. Yes, I'll pay for that. Yes, I'll watch the kids. Yes, I'll cancel my plans. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't used to be this way. When I was young, I had dreams. I wanted to travel, see the world, experience things beyond my small town in Ohio. But then life happened. Marriage happened. Kids happened. Responsibility happened. I married Robert Anderson when I was 23. He was handsome, charming, and ambitious. He promised me adventures, told me we'd see the world together once we got established. We had 2 sons. Tyler came first, then 2 years later, Jason. They were good kids, energetic, curious, full of life. I loved being their mother. But somewhere in the chaos of diapers and Little League and parent-teacher conferences, my dreams got shelved. When the kids are older, Robert would say, when we have more money, when never came. Robert worked in sales, good years and bad years. The good years, we'd save a little. The bad years, we'd drain the savings. We never quite got ahead. When Tyler was 15 and Jason was 13, Robert had a massive stroke. He survived, but he was never the same. Paralyzed on his left side, unable to work, unable to be the man he'd been. I became his caretaker. On top of being a mother, on top of working full-time as a dental hygienist to keep us afloat, the boys helped some. But they were teenagers. They had their own lives, their own problems. I didn't want to burden them. Robert lived for 8 more years. 8 years of medications and physical therapy and doctor's appointments, and slowly watching the man I married disappear piece by piece. He died when I was 51. Heart attack in his sleep. I grieved. Of course I grieved. But I also felt something else. Something I felt guilty about. Relief. Relief that I didn't have to be his nurse anymore. Relief that I could think about myself again. But by then, my sons were grown. Tyler was 28, married with a baby. Jason was 26, living with his girlfriend. And they needed me. Not the same way Robert had needed me, but they needed me nonetheless. Tyler's wife, Jessica. She was young, overwhelmed, struggling with postpartum depression. They asked if I could help with the baby a few days a week. Just until Jessica feels better, Tyler said. A few months max. I said yes. A few months turned into a year. Then 2 years. Then Jessica got pregnant again, and suddenly I was watching 2 grandchildren while they both worked. Mom, you're a lifesaver, Tyler would say. We couldn't do this without you. And I'd smile and say it was. Jason had different needs, financial ones. Mom, can you loan me $2,000? My car broke down. Mom, can you help with rent this month? Work has been slow. Mom, my credit card got maxed out. Can you pay it off? I'll pay you back. He never paid me back. Not once. But I kept saying yes, because that's what mothers do. They help, they sacrifice, they say yes. By the time I was 55, I was tired. Bone tired. Working full time, When I turned 58, something shifted. I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't recognize the woman staring back. Gray hair I kept meaning to color, lines around my eyes, a body that hurt in places I didn't know could hurt. And I thought, is this it? Is this all my life is going to be? That night, I made a decision. I was going to take that trip. The one I'd been dreaming about since I was 20. Italy, Florence, Rome, Venice, the Amalfi Coast. I was going to see the world before I died. I started saving. Not much, maybe $200 a month from my paycheck. But it was something. My little secret, my dream fund. I didn't tell anyone at first. I was afraid they'd talk me out of it, afraid they'd need something and I'd cave and use the money to help them instead. 3 years. That's how long it took me to save $8,000, enough for a 2-week trip to Italy. Flights, hotels, food, tours, everything. I booked the trip 6 months in advance. September. Off-season. Better prices, fewer tourists. I was so excited I could barely sleep. Finally, 2 months before the trip, I told my sons. We were at Sunday dinner at my house, a tradition I'd started years ago to keep the family connected. Tyler, Jessica, their 2 kids, Jason, and his girlfriend. Melissa, I have an announcement, I said as we cleared the dishes. Everyone looked at me. I'm going to Italy, in September, for 2 weeks. Silence. Then Jessica said, Italy? Like Europe, Italy? Yes. That's wonderful, Carol, she said. You deserve a vacation. Tyler was frowning. 2 weeks is a long time, Mom. I've saved for 3 years. I'm going. But what about the kids? Who's going to watch them while we work? You'll have to figure that out. Hire a sitter. Ask Jessica's mother. Her mother lives 3 hours away. Then hire a sitter. Do you know how much daycare costs? No, Tyler, I don't. Because you've never paid for it. He looked stung. That's not fair. Isn't it? I've been watching your children for free for almost 8 years. We didn't force you. No, but you've certainly taken advantage. Jessica touched Tyler's arm. Honey, your mom is right. We should have been more appreciative. Tyler didn't respond. Jason, who'd been quiet, spoke up. Mom, can I talk to you, privately? We went to the kitchen. He closed the door. Mom, I need to ask you something. My heart sank. I knew what was coming. I'm in a tight spot financially. Melissa and I want to move in together, get a real place, but I need first and last month's rent. About $3,000. Jason, I know you're saving for Italy, but this is important. This is my life, my future. And Italy is mine. You can go to Italy anytime, but this apartment won't wait. I've been saving for 3 years. And I've been trying to build a life. Mom, please, I'm asking for help. No. He blinked. What? No, I'm not giving you money for the apartment. Are you serious? Yes, so you're choosing a vacation over helping your son. I'm choosing myself, for once. He stared at me like I was a stranger. Wow, I didn't realize you were so selfish. The word hit me like a slap. Selfish? Yeah, selfish. You're going to blow $8,000 on a trip while your family struggles. You're 30 years old, Jason. You have a job. If you can't afford an apartment, maybe you need a better job or a cheaper apartment. I can't believe you're saying this. I can't believe you're asking me to give up my dream so you can move in with your girlfriend. He shook his head. Fine, I'll figure it out myself, like I always do. You've never figured anything out yourself. I've bailed you out for a decade. Because that's what mothers do. No, that's what I've done. Past tense. He stormed out, didn't say goodbye. Tyler and Jessica left shortly after. The energy in the room soured. I sat alone in my house, surrounded by dirty dishes, and cried. Margaret called the next day. How'd they take it? Badly. Let me guess. They need you. Always. Carol, listen to me. You're going on that trip. Do not let them guilt you out of it. Jason called me selfish. Good. Good? Yes, because maybe it's time you were a little selfish. You've given them everything. When do you get something? But what if? No what ifs. You're going to Italy. End of discussion. The next 2 months were tense. Tyler barely spoke to me. Jason didn't speak to me at all. I told myself I didn't care, that I was doing the right thing. But at night, alone, I wondered if they were right, if I was being selfish. Then 1 week before my trip, Jason showed up at my house. Mom, we need to talk. He looked terrible, exhausted, stressed. What's wrong? Everything. Melissa's pregnant. My breath caught. Oh, Jason. We weren't planning it, but it happened. And now we really need that apartment. We can't raise a baby in her parents' basement. Jason, please, Mom. I'm begging you. Cancel Italy. Help us instead. This is your grandchild. I already have grandchildren. Tyler's kids. This is different. This is a crisis. And Italy is my dream. Dreams don't matter as much as family. They do to me. He stood up. Fine. Go to Italy. But don't expect me to be here when you get back. What does that mean? It means if you choose a vacation over your family, you're choosing to not be part of this family. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Mom. You taught me that. He left. I didn't sleep that night, or the next night, or the next. He looked terrible, exhausted, stressed. What's wrong? Everything. Melissa's pregnant. My breath caught. Oh, Jason. We weren't planning it, but it happened, and now we really need that apartment. We can't raise a baby in her parents' basement. Jason, please, Mom, I'm begging you. Cancel Italy. Help us instead. This is your grandchild. I already have grandchildren, Tyler's kids. This is different. This is a crisis, and Italy is my dream. Dreams don't matter as much as family. They do to me. He stood up. Fine, go to Italy, but don't expect me to be here when you get back. What does that mean? It means if you choose a vacation over your family, you're choosing to not be part of this family. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Mom. You taught me that. He left. I didn't sleep that night, or the next night, or the next. 2 days before my flight, Tyler called. Mom, we need to talk about your Italy trip. There's nothing to talk about. I'm going. Jason told me about Melissa, about the baby. I know. And you're still going? Yes. Mom, that's really selfish. There was that word again. Selfish. How is it selfish to take a trip I've saved for and planned for years? Because your family needs you. Jason needs money. I need childcare. We're struggling, and you're off gallivanting around Europe. Gallivanting? You know what I mean. No, Tyler, I don't. Explain to me how me finally doing something for myself, after 62 years of doing for everyone else, is selfish. Because that's what mothers do. They sacrifice. I've sacrificed my entire life. When is it my turn? When your kids are stable, when they don't need you anymore. That's never going to happen. You're 34 years old, and I'm still paying your car insurance. Silence. What? Your car insurance. I've been paying it for 6 years, $240 a month. That's over $17,000. You offered, because you said it was temporary. Because you said you'd take over once you got a raise. That was 6 years ago, Tyler. I didn't realize you were keeping track. I'm not keeping track. I'm pointing out that I've been supporting you financially for years while you call me selfish for taking one trip. This is different. How? How is it different? Because Italy isn't essential. Car insurance is. Then pay for it yourself. More silence. Are you saying you won't pay anymore? I'm saying maybe it's time you figured out your own finances instead of relying on me. Mom, I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. I hung up. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. But I also felt something else. Free. For the first time in decades, I felt free. I got on that plane to Italy, and I didn't look back. Italy was everything I'd dreamed of and more. The first few days, I was so tense I could barely enjoy it. I kept checking my phone, expecting angry calls or texts, expecting guilt trips and accusations. But my phone stayed mostly quiet. A few texts from Margaret checking in, nothing from my sons. By day 4, I started to relax, started to actually be present. Florence was breathtaking. I stood in front of Michelangelo's David and cried. Not because of the art, though it was stunning, but because I was actually there. After 62 years of dreaming, I was actually there. Rome was chaotic and beautiful. I threw a coin in the Trevi Fountain and made a wish that I'd find the courage to keep choosing myself. Venice was magical. I rode a gondola at sunset and felt like I was in a movie, like I was someone else, someone who traveled and lived and experienced life. The Amalfi Coast was my favorite. I stayed in a small hotel overlooking the sea. Every morning, I'd have an espresso on the balcony and watch the sun rise over the water. I met people, other travelers, made friends with a widow from Australia named Helen, who was also traveling alone for the first time. My husband died 3 years ago, she told me over dinner one night, and I realized I'd spent 50 years being a wife, a mother, a grandmother. But I'd never just been Helen. I know exactly what you mean. So I decided I'm going to be Helen, even if it's selfish. My sons called me selfish for taking this trip. Good, let them think that. You know what I've learned? When people call you selfish, what they really mean is, you're not serving me anymore. Her words stayed with me. On day 10, my phone rang. Tyler. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Hello? Mom, where are you? Italy. Where else would I be? Your phone's been going straight to voicemail. Because I turned off data roaming. It's expensive. We've been trying to reach you for days. Why? What's wrong? Jason and Melissa broke up. My stomach dropped. What? She left him. Said she couldn't handle the stress of being with someone so financially unstable. Oh no. He's devastated, Mom. He's staying with us right now. He needs you. I'm in Italy, Tyler. I can't just leave. Can't or won't? Both. I'm not cutting my trip short. Even for your son who's falling apart. Jason is 30 years old. He'll survive a breakup. He's talking about the baby, about how Melissa won't let him be involved, about how he's going to lose his kid before it's even born. Guilt crashed over me. That's awful. I'm sorry he's going through that, but not sorry enough to come home. I'll be home in 4 days. He can manage until then. You've changed, Mom. No, I've just stopped letting you control me with guilt. That's not what we're doing. Yes, it is. You called me selfish for taking this trip. You're guilting me about Jason's relationship falling apart, which, by the way, has nothing to do with me. And you're making me feel bad for finally doing something for myself. We just need you. You need my money. You need my free labor. You need me to solve your problems, but you don't actually need me. You need what I can give you. That's not true, isn't it? When was the last time you called just to talk? Just to ask how I was doing? When was the last time either of you visited me without needing something? Silence. That's what I thought. I'll be home Saturday. Jason can survive 4 more days. I hung up. Helen overheard the conversation from across the cafe, raised her glass. To being selfish. I clinked my glass against hers. To being selfish. But that night, alone in my hotel room, I cried. Cried for Jason. Cried for the grandchild I might never know. Cried for the family that seemed to be fracturing. And cried for the part of me that still felt guilty for choosing myself. The last few days of the trip were bittersweet. I was still in Italy, still experiencing my dream. But the joy was tainted by worry and guilt. On the flight home, I tried to prepare myself for what I'd face. Angry sons, accusations, maybe even estrangement. But I also reminded myself why I'd taken the trip in the first place. Because I deserved it. Because my dreams mattered too. Because I was more than just a mother, more than just a wallet, more than just free childcare. I was Carol, and Carol had been to Italy. When I landed, I turned on my phone. 23 missed calls, 37 text messages. Most were from Tyler, a few from Jason, one from Jessica. Jessica's was the only one I read. Carol, please call when you land. Things are complicated. I drove home and said, whatever was waiting for me, it could wait until I'd showered and slept in my own bed. The next morning, Tyler showed up at my door. He looked exhausted. Can I come in? I stepped aside. Was sat in my living room. The same living room where I'd told them about Italy. The same living room where everything had started to unravel. Jason's a mess, Mom. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Because you don't seem very concerned. Of course I'm concerned. But Tyler, his relationship ended. People survive breakups. It's more than that. He lost his job last week. What? Why? He was late too many times. They let him go. Oh, Jason. He has nothing, Mom. No job, no girlfriend, no apartment. He's sleeping on our couch, and he's not good. What do you mean not good? Depressed. Really depressed. He barely eats, barely talks. Jessica's worried about him. Guilt crushed over me again, stronger this time. Have you gotten him help? Therapy? He won't go, says he can't afford it. His insurance. He lost his insurance when he lost his job. There are sliding scale therapists. He won't go, Mom. He says the only thing that would help is if you apologized. Apologized for what? For abandoning him. For choosing Italy over your family. I didn't abandon anyone. I took a 2-week vacation. That's not how he sees it. He thinks you don't care about him. That you've written him off. That's not true. Then prove it. Help him. Give him the money he needs to get back on his feet. How much? $5,000. For rent, food, job hunting expenses. $5,000. Yes. Tyler, I just spent $8,000 on Italy. I don't have another $5,000 lying around. You have your retirement savings. That's for my retirement. Jason's life is falling apart and you're worried about retirement? Yes, because I'm 62 years old. I don't have decades to rebuild my savings like Jason does. So you're saying no. I'm saying I can't keep bailing him out every time he makes poor choices. Poor choices? He got laid off. He got fired for being late repeatedly. That's a choice. Tyler stood up. I can't believe you. I really can't. You're our mother. You're supposed to help us. I have helped you for decades. When does it end, Tyler? When do you stop needing me to rescue you? When we're stable. You'll never be stable if I keep enabling you. Enabling? Is that what you think you've been doing? Yes. I've been paying your car insurance for 6 years, your phone bill, Jason's rent, countless times. I've watched your children for free while you've saved thousands on childcare. I've sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed. And the one time I do something for myself, I'm selfish? Tyler's face was red. Fine. You want to stop helping? Stop. See what happens. See how long it takes before everything falls apart. Maybe it needs to fall apart. Maybe you need to figure things out without me. Maybe we do. and maybe you need to figure out what it's like to have no family at all." He walked out, slammed the door. I sat there, shaking, wondering if I'd just destroyed my relationship with my sons forever. That afternoon, Jason showed up. He looked worse than I'd imagined. Unshaven, hollow-eyed, thin. "Jason, Tyler said you won't help me." "Honey, sit down. Let's talk." "There's nothing to talk about. You've made your choice. Italy over me." "That's not what happened." "Yes, it is. I asked for help. You said no. You went to Italy. Now my life is ruined and you don't care." "Of course I care." "Then help me. I can't keep giving you money every time something goes wrong." "This isn't something small, Mom. I lost everything. My job, my girlfriend, my baby, everything. And I'm sorry, truly. But giving you money won't fix any of that. It'll give me time to figure things out. Or it'll delay you figuring things out. Again." He laughed bitterly. "You've changed. Italy changed you." "No, Italy reminded me who I was before I became everyone's solution to their problems." "So we're problems now?" "You're my sons. I love you. But yes, you've become problems. Because you're grown men who can't seem to manage your own lives." "Wow. Jason, I'm not trying to hurt you. But I can't keep sacrificing my life for yours. I'm your son. And I'm a person with dreams and needs and limits. I've hit my limit." He stared at me for a long moment. Then he said quietly, "You're going to regret this." "Maybe, but it's my choice to make." He left. Didn't slam the door. Just left. And I sat in my empty house and wondered if choosing myself meant losing my family. 2 weeks passed. Silence from both sons. Margaret checked in daily. "How are you holding up?" "I don't know. Part of me feels free. Part of me feels like the worst mother in the world." "You're not. You're just a mother with boundaries." "It doesn't feel like boundaries. It feels like abandonment." "That's the guilt talking." "Maybe, but the guilt was loud." I went back to work. My routine. But everything felt different. Heavier. My coworkers asked about Italy. I showed them pictures, told them stories. But the joy felt hollow. 3 weeks after Italy, I got a call from Jessica. "Carol, can we talk? In person?" Of course. We met at a coffee shop. She looked exhausted. "How are you?" I asked. "Tired. Tyler's been impossible since you got back. He's angry all the time, taking it out on me and the kids." "I'm sorry. I am too. But Carol, I need to say something, and you might not like it." "Okay." "You were right. About everything." I blinked. "What?" "Tyler's been relying on you too much. So has Jason. And I've been complicit. I've let Tyler use you for free childcare instead of figuring out our budget. I've let him guilt you into paying for things instead of managing our money better." "Jessica, let me finish. When you went to Italy, I was angry. I thought you were being selfish. But then I had to actually deal with childcare costs. And I realized we've been saving almost $3,000 a month because you watch the kids twice a week." $3,000? That's what daycare costs for 2 kids, 2 days a week. For 8 years, you've saved us close to $300,000 in childcare. The number hit me like a truck. $300,000. And that's not counting the car insurance you pay, or the times you've given Tyler money, or the gifts for the kids, or any of it. I felt tears prick my eyes. You didn't abandon your family by going to Italy, Carol. You finally asked them to stand on their own. And they're angry because it's hard. Because they've gotten comfortable having you as a safety net. I don't know what to do, Jessica. Neither do I. But I know this. You deserve to live your life. And I'm going to talk to Tyler. Make him see what I see. Thank you. She hugged me. Thank you for everything you've done for us. I'm sorry we didn't appreciate it sooner. After she left, I sat in that coffee shop and cried. Not sad tears, relieved tears. Someone saw me. Someone understood. That night, Tyler called. Mom, Jessica talked to me. Okay, she helped me see some things. About how much you've done for us. How much we've taken advantage. Tyler. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm really sorry. I called you selfish when you're the most selfless person I know. You gave up so much for us, and I repaid you by demanding more. You're my son. I wanted to help. But there's a difference between helping and enabling. Jessica explained that to me. I've been enabled my whole adult life, and I didn't even realize it. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm going to take over my car insurance and my phone bill, and I'm going to pay you back for all those years. You don't have to. Yes, I do. It's going to take time, but I'm going to pay you back. Every cent. Tyler, that's not necessary. It is to me. I need to prove to myself that I can be a man who doesn't rely on his mother to solve his problems. I felt pride swell in my chest. I'm proud of you. Don't be proud yet. I haven't done anything but talk. But I'm going to. What about Jason? His voice got quiet. Jason's not there yet. He's still really angry with you. I know. Give him time. He's hurting. But he'll come around. I hope so. We talked for another hour. About Italy, about his kids, about life. A real conversation. Not transactional. Not demanding. Just a mother and son talking. When we hung up, I felt lighter. But the situation with Jason still weighed on me. Another month passed. Tyler was true to his word. He started paying his own bills. Even sent me a check for $500 with a note. First installment. Many more to come. But Jason stayed silent. Then, 6 weeks after Italy, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Hello? Is this Carol Anderson? A woman's voice. Yes. This is Melissa, Jason's ex. My heart jumped. Melissa? Is everything okay? Is Jason okay? I don't know. That's why I'm calling. Can we meet? We met the next day. She was visibly pregnant now, probably 5 months along. Thank you for meeting me, she said. Of course. What's going on? Jason came to see me last week. He apologized for everything. For the financial stress, from not being ready to be a father, for all of it. That's good, but he also said something that worried me. He said he understood why I left, that he was a failure, that everyone was better off without him. Oh no. Carol, I think he's really depressed, like dangerously depressed, and I don't know what to do. He won't talk to his brother. He's not talking to you. I'm the last person he should be confiding in, but I'm worried about him. Where is he staying? I don't know. He wouldn't tell me. Is he still at Tyler's? I don't think so. Tyler would have mentioned it. Fear flooded through me. I need to find him. I called Tyler immediately. Do you know where Jason is? He left about 2 weeks ago. Said he needed space. I assumed he was staying with friends. What friends? Does he have friends? I don't know. I called Jason's phone, straight to voicemail, again and again. I drove to his old apartment. The landlord said he hadn't been back in weeks. I was panicking now. Full-on panicking. I called the police. They said without evidence of danger, there was nothing they could do. I spent 3 days calling everyone I could think of. His old coworkers, his friends from high school, anyone who might know where he was. Nothing. On the 4th day, I got a text from an unknown number. Mom, I'm okay. I just need time alone. Please stop looking for me. Jason? Yeah. Where are you?
Doesn't matter. Are you safe? Define safe.
My blood went cold. Jason, please talk to me. Why? So you can tell me again how I need to fix my own problems? No, so I can tell you I love you, and I'm sorry. Sorry for what? So going to Italy? For making you feel like I chose a trip over you. That was never what happened. Several minutes passed. Then, wasn't it though? No. I chose to finally do something for myself. That doesn't mean I don't love you. Feels like the same thing. I know, and I'm sorry for that. But Jason, I need you to know something. What? You are not a failure. You are not a burden. You are my son, and I love you more than anything, even Italy. Then why didn't you help me? Because giving you money wouldn't have helped. It would have delayed the real work you need to do. What work? Figuring out who you are without me fixing everything. Learning to stand on your own. I can't stand on my own. I've tried. I keep falling. Then fall, and get back up. Fall again, get back up again. That's what growing up is. I'm 30 years old. I should be grown up by now. Says who? Everyone moves at their own pace. I'm so tired, Mom. I know, honey. I know. I don't know how to do this, any of this. Then come home. Let's figure it out together. You want me to come home? Yes, please. But I don't have money for rent or therapy or anything. Come home anyway. We'll figure out the rest. An hour later, Jason showed up at my door. He looked even worse than the last time I'd seen him. He'd lost weight. His clothes were dirty. He smelled like he hadn't showered in days. But he was there, and he was crying. I pulled him into a hug and held him while he sobbed. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry too, baby. I'm so sorry. We stood in my doorway, holding each other, both of us crying. And I realized this was what I should have done from the beginning. Not given him money, just been there, just held him. Jason stayed with me that night, and the next night, and the one after that. We didn't talk about Italy, or money, or any of it. We just existed together. I made him food, made sure he showered, sat with him while he stared at the TV without really watching. On the third day, he finally spoke. I've been living in my car. Oh, Jason. I couldn't afford anything else, and I was too ashamed to tell anyone. You're never too ashamed to come to me. I felt like I'd already taken too much from you. You haven't taken anything I didn't give willingly. But that's the problem. I kept taking, and you kept giving, and I never learned how to do anything for myself. That's my fault, not yours. It's both our faults. You made it too easy. I took advantage of that. We sat in silence for a moment. I think I need help, Mom. Real help, not money. Therapy. Okay, we'll find you a therapist. I can't afford. I'll pay for it, not as a handout, as an investment in your future. What's the difference? A handout is giving you money to avoid dealing with problems. An investment is giving you the tools to solve them yourself. He thought about that. Okay, I can accept that. Over the next few weeks, I helped Jason find a therapist. A good one who specialized in depression and life transitions. Jason started going twice a week. I also helped him apply for unemployment benefits, helped him update his resume, drove him to job interviews when he didn't have gas money. But I didn't give him cash, didn't pay his debts, didn't solve his problems for him. I supported him, but I didn't enable him. It was hard, so hard. Every instinct I had screamed to just write him a check, make his life easier, fix everything. But I didn't, because I'd learned something in Italy. Sometimes love means letting people struggle, letting them fall, letting them figure out their own way. 6 weeks after Jason moved in, he got a job. Not a great job, customer service at a call center, but it was something, a paycheck, a start. "I'm proud of you," I told him when he came home after his first day. "It's just a call center. It's progress. That's what matters." He smiled. Actually smiled. "Thanks, Mom." 2 months after that, he moved out. Found a room in a shared house with 2 other guys. It wasn't glamorous, but it was his. "I'm going to pay you back," he said as he packed. "For the therapy. For everything. When you can. Not before you're stable." "I'm serious, Mom." "So am I. Pay yourself first. Build your savings. Get stable. Then worry about paying me back." He hugged me tight. "I love you, and I'm sorry for calling you selfish." "You weren't entirely wrong. I was being selfish. But that's not always a bad thing." "No, it's not." After he left, I sat in my quiet house and felt peaceful. For the first time in decades, I wasn't worried about my sons every second of every day. They were figuring it out, slowly, imperfectly, but they were figuring it out. Tyler continued to pay me back in small increments. $500 one month, $300 the next. He'd taken over all his own bills, even started a college fund for his kids. "Jessica and I are going to therapy too," he told me one Sunday dinner. "Working on our communication, our finances, everything. I'm proud of you both. We should have done this years ago. But better late than never." Jason came to Sunday dinners now too. He'd reconnected with Melissa. They weren't getting back together romantically, but they were working on co-parenting before the baby arrived. "She's letting me be involved," he told me. His face lit up. "I get to go to doctor's appointments, help pick out baby stuff, be a real dad. That's wonderful." I almost lost that because I was too busy feeling sorry for myself. But therapy's helping. I'm learning that I can't control everything, but I can control how I respond to things. I watched my sons rebuilding their lives and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. One Saturday, 6 months after Italy, Margaret called. "So I'm booking another trip. Greece this time. Wanna come?" I hesitated. The old Carol would have said no immediately, would have found a reason why she couldn't go, why she was needed at home. But I wasn't the old Carol anymore. "Yes," I said. "I want to come." "Really? What about the boys?" "The boys will be fine. They don't need me to survive anymore." Hallelujah. When did that happen? When I stopped making it so easy for them to need me. We booked the trip for the following spring. Another dream, another adventure. Because I'd learned something important in Italy, my life didn't end when I became a mother. It didn't end when I became a caregiver. It didn't end when I said yes to everyone else. It was just paused, waiting for me to press play again. Last month was my 63rd birthday. Tyler and Jessica threw me a party. Jason came, Melissa came, even brought the baby, a beautiful little boy they named Robert, after my late husband. I held my newest grandson and felt tears stream down my face. "Thank you," I whispered to Jason, "for naming him after your grandfather. He was a good man. I want my son to know about him. And I want him to know about his grandmother who went to Italy. Why? Because I want him to learn what I should have learned a long time ago. That you can love your family and still love yourself. That taking care of yourself isn't selfish. That dreams matter." I looked around the room at my family. Imperfect, messy, but trying, really trying. Tyler stood up. "I want to make a toast." Everyone raised their glasses. To Mom, who taught us that love sometimes means tough love, who showed us that mothers are people too, who went to Italy even when we told her not to, and who came back stronger. We love you, Mom. And we're sorry it took us so long to really see you. To Carol, everyone echoed. I wiped my eyes. Thank you, all of you, for letting me be imperfect, for letting me choose myself, for growing with me instead of resenting me for growing. After everyone left, I sat alone in my living room, the same room where everything had started to fall apart months ago, and looked at the photos from Italy I'd hung on the walls. Me in front of the Colosseum, me eating gelato in Florence, me on a gondola in Venice. Evidence that I'd lived, really lived. My phone buzzed. A text from Jason. Thank you for not giving up on me, even when I gave up on myself. I texted back, never, I'll never give up on you, but I won't enable you either. There's a difference. I know that now. Love you, Mom. Love you too. I put down my phone and thought about the woman I'd been a year ago. Exhausted, taken for granted. Living for everyone except herself. And I thought about the woman I was now. Still tired sometimes, still worried about her kids, but also someone who'd been to Italy, who had plans to see Greece, who'd learned that saying no wasn't selfish, it was survival. Would I do it all again? Take that trip, even knowing the fallout it would cause? Yes, absolutely yes. Because that trip didn't just take me to Italy. It brought me back to myself. And in the process, it forced my sons to find themselves too. We're not perfect. We still have hard conversations, still disagree sometimes. But we're honest now, real. No more enabling, no more taking advantage, just family. Messy, complicated, beautiful family. Last week, Tyler handed me an envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside was a check for $5,000 and a card. The card read, Mom, we know we can never fully repay you for everything you've done, but this is a start. Use it for your next trip. Love, Tyler and Jason. I looked at my sons, both of them smiling, both of them proud. You didn't have to do this. Yes, we did, Jason said. You taught us something important, that family helps each other. Not because they have to, but because they want to. And we want to help you chase your dreams, Tyler added, the way you helped us chase ours. I cried. Happy tears, healing tears. Thank you, both of you. That money is sitting in my savings account right now, earmarked for Greece, for more adventures, for more living. Because I'm 63 years old and I'm not done yet. I'm not done traveling. Not done dreaming, not done choosing myself. And my sons, they're not done growing either. They're not done learning to stand on their own, to be men who don't need their mother to solve every problem. But we're doing it together now, supporting each other, not enabling, supporting. There's a difference, a big one. And I'm grateful I finally learned it, even if I had to go all the way to Italy to figure it out. So tell me, if your adult children called you selfish for taking a dream vacation while you were still paying their bills, what would you do? Would you cancel the trip? Would you go anyway? Would you cut them off completely? Drop your answer in the comments, because I need to know. Am I the only mother who's ever felt torn between loving her children and loving herself?